have Pastor Matt Schuler from Faith Lutheran Troy to provide us the invocation. I'm not sure if he's going to give the update on the Lions game, but it's 7-0 Lions.
Yep, 7-0 Lions, still in the first quarter, right?
So
there we
please
go.
rise if you're able for the invocation and remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance.
Hey, Lord God, Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for all the ways that you continue to bless us in this life and in faith. Thank you for the ways that our councils serve with their time, talent, and treasures, and continue to lift up people in our community who do the same, so that all people of all races, all tribes, all tongues can know your love and grace, which is found in Jesus. This we pray through the Holy Spirit in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Pastor Matt. We'll give you a pass on your outfit this time. We'll call the Troy City Council meeting of October 20th, 2025 to order and ask for the roll call from Ms. Dixon.
Mayor Baker?
Here.
Councilmember Brooks?
Here.
Councilmember Chamberlain-Krenga?
Here.
Councilmember Chanda?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Gunn?
Here.
Councilmember Hamilton?
Here.
Councilmember Hoderick?
Here.
All present this evening. First up on the agenda, certificates of recognition and special presentations. We have two. C1 is the Troy Community Foundation 2025 Troy Family Days Report, and that'll be presented by Karen Greenwood and Olivia McLaughlin.
Hello. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Baker, City Council members. I'm Olivia McLaughlin, Executive Director of the Troy Community Foundation, and I have with me our Board Chair, Karen Greenwood, and our Treasurer, Dan Duggan. So our crew here. And we just wanted to come and give you a brief update both on the foundation and Troy Family Days, another successful year for us. If we could go to the next slide.
You have the clicker.
Oh, yes, I do. Sorry about that. I was just talking to one of our board members this week, and we were discussing that we love how Troy Community Foundation is hyper-local, right, in a good way, that we're able to, talk about the ways in which we're able to invest in the community and the things that the Troy residents really want to, see happen in our community. We have our grant programs and, just identify the causes and initiatives that are important to those in Troy. So that's important to me. I'm a longtime resident, and my husband and I are homeowners and raise our kids here, so I love that aspect of it. So we have our foundation officers and our executive board. Everyone on our executive board lives in Troy, and so that is an identification that is important to all of us. Our advisory board is made up of a number of individuals who either work in Troy or they do business in Troy. So of course, they put their resources and time and talent and money as well towards the foundation. Troy Family Days Committee is in a commitment from our all-volunteer committee, and Karen will talk about that in a little bit. And then we're proud to also be the fiduciary host of 3 of the senior citizen groups in the city of Troy. So the Friends of Troy Seniors, the Senior Computer Lab, and the Senior Home Assistance Repair Program, SHARP, who I was able to work with recently to get a small grant from the county to secure more volunteers because they need them. We have a number of senior citizens who are here in Troy still aging in place, and every week throughout the year I still get donations or thank you notes from these seniors that are getting repairs through this volunteer program. So if you have time, or if you know people who want to and can volunteer, we would love to have them. So endowments, these are the bread and butter, of course, of our foundation and make up just under $600,000 in endowments. So in addition to the endowments and investments that the foundation itself has as well, we're at about $1 million in total that is being managed by Morgan Stanley, which is the investment firm that we currently utilize. So again, we have potential distributions that could take place over the next 10 years, but that could remain somewhat stagnant in the sense that we give the option for these organizations and individuals that hold endowments that they could elect to distribute 5% of those endowments to, take that money and utilize that for the mission of their endowment. So anyone can start an endowment with an initial deposit of $10,000. So we we of course encourage that. You know, anyone can reach out, whether it's individuals, businesses, and organizations. I was just thinking today about the scholarships that we have. We have 5 scholarships, educational scholarships through these endowments, and one of them, the Satterfield First Responder Scholarship, of course, Andy Satterfield, who's now the chief of police in Sterling Heights. The Rotary Club, an anonymous donor from the Rotary Club of Troy stepped up this year, and they were able to double the amount of scholarships they typically give. So from 2 to 4 scholarships were given out to young men and women whose families, parents, were part of public service in Troy. So those kinds of things, again, that are very local, very meaningful to people in Troy and to us as well. So I think we're going to talk about Troy Family Days.
Thank you for having us. It's nice to see everybody smiling. So first of all, Troy Family Days happened in September. I'm quite sure that I saw almost everybody here there at some point. It is a real community event. So we're going to start the presentation with thanking the City of Troy, Fire, Police, Clawson Fire, the Rotary Club, ARC of Oakland County, the library, the Nature Center, the Historic Village, Global Troy. The list goes on and on. The Parks and Recs Department, the community grounds that we use. So this year we utilized much more of Stein Park. So new things this year, a couple new things. We did a car show on Thursday evening. We did live shows and table activities that was brought to us by another anonymous donor from the Michigan Science Center. So we brought that this year. It was hands-on, touch, feel, free for our kids that are this big and smaller. So there was a lot of STEM projects that were done. We had great success with that. We revised our floor plan by using the Stein Park, so we stretch our entrance all the way up to the handicap parking at the beginning of Stein Park, right by the skate park. So we had more space, which was really nice. We also maximized our programming this year by not only having our what we're calling the main stage, and no, we're not going to become a big huge music festival, but we did use our main stage and our smaller stage, which was the performing arts stage. So it was really nice to put a smaller kids act there, and also some different activities. There was a jazzercise class there, just in case anyone missed it. This year we also did our big event. We had over 300 students and their chaperones with special needs come into our festival while our park is closed. We had rides open for them. We also do pizza parties. That event is maxed out. We take as many kids as we can, and unfortunately we try not to turn anybody away. And it's really awesome. We do that in conjunction with the rides company. They donate that time on Thursday for us. We did have the opening day ceremony where we had new citizens sworn in. We kept the cutest pet contest. We did a parade on Saturday morning, a water battle between Troy and Clawson. We did a special dunk tank fundraiser for Special Olympics with Troy PD. Only PD people went in there, not any of us, so that was really great. And this year we also had a larger, bigger fireworks presentation. Thank you to the City of Troy for their donation and sponsoring the fireworks. We really appreciate that. And then International Day, that pavilion was packed. So we're very excited to work with Global Troy. They do a great job helping us get that all scheduled. So the acts are always different, and they bring everybody out, and it's just so fun to watch. So here's a couple numbers that you might be interested in. Thursday, like I said, the big event is maxed at capacity right now. We're trying to think, how do we make it bigger but still keep it safe? So there's some logistics to work on there. The naturalization, like I mentioned, there were 20 sworn in new U.S. citizens. It's always exciting to watch. We have estimated that over 30,000 people came through the gates in 4 days. So that's everybody with children counted. It's a rough way to do math because we only charge for a certain age, but we tried really hard to get a good, accurate number. International Day was 20 different acts. Food vendors, business, nonprofit booths, everything amazing. We utilized all the space that we could, and the layout, we learned a little bit about the layout. We might want to just shift a couple things for this year. This was our first year with this layout, so we're just working through that. We raised more money in corporate dollars than we have ever raised before, even though when we started this year, when we started fundraising for this event, we got no's after no's after no's because everyone's budget's so tight. We were able to really talk to organizations here in Troy and other businesses about the value of having your name out there. So our business expenses are very closely monitored, as you can imagine. We work really closely with our committee. Our committee, they meet every month but one, and they're absolutely fabulous. And then the event, the actual 4 days, we put about 200 plus volunteers out to help us throw this. So it's pretty amazing, and like I said, we couldn't do it without the city's cooperation with that, not only for the space, but also the support they give us through Kurt Dennis's department. Just absolutely amazing to have them on board. So revenues were just up about 5%. 18.9% ride revenue, which it had dipped previously, so we were actually really glad to see that. It didn't feel as busy, so we really didn't realize that number until probably late in the day on Sunday because we were a little bit more spread out, so I didn't get that shoulder to shoulder, we must be making money because we're packed, but we did. We sold more booths, we had more food vendors, and we had more corporate sponsors, so I'm really, really proud of the team. I'm proud of what we were able to pull off this year. And the festival cost us 30% more than it did last year, which we knew was coming. Last year we budgeted for an increase. We did see an increase, but it really was full. It was a full increase this year. So our goals for distribution, we of course are saving for a rainy day fund because we've been very fortunate for probably 5 years now where we have had really fabulous weather. A day of rain could be devastating to the budget, and I think I've mentioned this before that on Thursday when we opened the door, about $135,000 is sunk in costs right off the bat. So it's not like if it rains I could just close everything down. It doesn't really work that way. So we make sure that we keep a nice healthy budget there so we can plan for unexpected surprises such as rain. We do a bunch of organizational grants, and then our grant season, we do two grant periods. I couldn't get the word out. So spring and fall, so we're in the middle of our grant session right now. And then Troy Charity Night, if you'll allow me, please attend. It's November 13th, and it's a reverse fundraiser. So you come, and then we donate $50 into whatever endowment you pick. So this is really a giving event. We call it Troy Charity Night because we give money back to the organizations that support us. And then we put money into our operations fund, and we are already planning meetings with the city of Troy to talk about what other needs the city might have where private money and city money and government money work together to bring a resource into the city. So we're working on that right now. These are our sponsors for this year. It was really an absolutely fabulous year. We couldn't have done it without these sponsors. They really make an impact, and there are not enough words for us to thank them and their support, so thank you to the city as well. I'm all done, but before I leave, I'd like to know if you have any questions, because usually there's a couple.
Thank you. Questions? Mayor Pro Tem Gunn?
Well, first of all, it was an amazing event, so
Thank you.
nice job, very beautiful. When you guys presented earlier this year, or maybe it was beginning, I had brought up about rain insurance, which you can take out and prevent if there is potential rain loss. I mean, it's worth looking into because I've overseen several events and it's worth it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but overall, amazing event, so thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you for that.
Councilmember Hamilton.
I was there with my wife and daughters all day, and they had a blast. So
Awesome.
They loved the petting zoo. They loved a lot of things. I was just curious, what exactly was where the 30% increase came in? Was that the cost of the vendors and of the ride company, or just across the board?
It was everything. Our percentage with the ride company did go down because we have a contract with them, but it's not just that. It's fences, it's porta potties, it's everything we rent, the tents, the chairs, the tables, everything that we touched. Our security went up significantly. Because we're bigger, we needed to cover more space, so that's more lighting lighting towers, that's more officers. Yeah, so it's all of the, I don't think there was a bill that was less than previous.
That's a huge bump, wow.
It
Great
is.
job. It was
So
great.
last year, we actually expected this last year, and we only saw like a 6 or 7% last year. It wasn't as big because I think maybe some of our vendors were like, they've been a vendor for a really long time, we're going to try not to pass it along, and then it just got to the point where it needed to be passed on, so.
Great. Additional questions? I mean, I think I speak for all of us when we say thank you.
Thank you. Awesome, awesome. We love this event. We wouldn't change it for the world. We love hosting it, and it takes a village. When I say it takes a lot of people, I am not kidding. But, so thank you.
And I think you have one more
I do.
special thing.
So Tim Lochran is here. So Tim is the Vice President of Land Acquisition for Robertson Brothers, and they are here today with us to present us with a check, so the Troy Community Foundation. And Dave will also be coming up. Dave Robertson is the Vice President of Human Resources Recruiting and Special Projects, and he is actually one of our founders. So how cool is that we could actually full circle work with somebody who thought that this organization was great enough to start a long time ago. So, do you want to come up and say a couple words?
Hi, thanks. You know, it's really a pleasure working with the city of Troy. I like Troy so much, I lived in it for 23 years. And this one's particularly near and dear to me because we actually helped start the first community foundation of Troy. Then 2007 happened. But, you know, we've been building in Troy for many, many years, and we like to give back to the communities. And this is one of the ways. And we had to use a particularly large font because of the size of the check. But it's a great, community foundations are really useful, I think. So, you know, hand the money to experts to give it out because we're not. So, and we just like to do the right thing.
Good evening, Tim Lochran with Robertson Homes. Good to see you again. It's been a while since I was here. I love these, bringing the big Ed McMahon check because nobody's going to deny me. So it's a rare opportunity.
Motion will carry. I can hear
Exactly. But yeah, so we're very happy. This is on behalf of the Village of Troy development, which I think most of you were on the council at the time. So we're very excited. We're about 3/4 of the way sold out. This represents $250 per unit in that community. We're finishing up a lot of the landscaping. If you've been out there, Long Lake and Rochester Road, we got a lot of landscaping. We've got the pavilion in. We've got the dog park that's going to be open pretty soon. We've got the hillside overlook, if you remember that, and then we just finished up the pathway, which is a really, if you remember, a very important linkage between Long Lake and then where you'll connect through the wetlands, and I think that's just a great amenity. So we're happy to be here, and I love bringing these Ed McMahon checks. So any questions for us?
Come back.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
For a picture? Okay. Do you want us in front or behind?
Is that the real check?
Don't do this very often, though. I don't do this very often.
This one is
I know we usually do.
How much is it?
Just trying to maybe a little bit. How much is this?
Oh, that's good.
2,500. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We'll take a couple.
Our first home was Robertson Brothers home in Bali.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
all right. It was, what, 36,500, is that right? Yeah, it's a big check. Thank you to Robertson Brothers, Troy Community Foundation. That's a wonderful thing. Next up is C2, and it's a special service commendation for the Stage Nature Center Executive Director, Carla Reeb, as she retires. So Carla, please come on up. And we've got Erica as well, who's the new executive director. So it's a duel. It's a farewell to Carla and also a welcome to Erica. Why don't you come around this side? I am going to read this. Got to get you a stool.
I know.
Does anyone have a stool? I'm going to read this service commendation to the record, Carla, because I want everyone to hear it, of course. But if you didn't know, Carla Reeb is the outgoing executive director of the Stage Nature Center and is retiring, which she deserves very much. And we are very, of course, sad to see her go, but thrilled that she is getting to look at a new adventure in life, and I hope she gets to enjoy the Nature Center, not from a work perspective, but from a resident perspective. So, all right, I'm going to read this into the record. Like I said, it's a service commendation, Stage Nature Center Executive Director Carla Reeb. Whereas in 2012, Carla Reeb became the Executive Director of the Stage Nature Center after having led many other nonprofit organizations. Carla's nonprofit leadership spans more than 4 decades, with its beginning in Windsor, Ontario in 1983, when she became the administrator of a retirement home. Carla held that position for 8 years before becoming the Director of Development for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, now known as Breakthrough T1D, in 1991. She then took on a similar role for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation before becoming the Executive Director for Learning Ally, formerly known as Recording for the Blind and Dyslexic, in 1998. Whereas Carla first joined the Stage Nature Center as a member of the Stage Nature Society Board in 2010, and in 2012 she was appointed as the first Executive Director. Between 2012 and 2024, under Carla's leadership, program attendance at the Stage Nature Center grew from 8,600 to 30,000. Whereas Carla has been a guiding light for the growth and success of the Stage Nature Center. Her dedication to education, building partnerships, and engaging the community to create a stronger organization has allowed the Stage Nature Center to become a true gem in the city of Troy. Carla's commitment to providing programming for all ages while ensuring everyone can experience childhood wonder when at the center has truly been inspiring. Now, therefore, be it known that the Mayor and City Council of the City of Troy take this opportunity to express their true appreciation to Stage Nature Center Executive Director Carla Reeb for her professionalism and her many contributions for the betterment of the Troy community. And be it further known that the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Troy, City Management, and all the residents of the City of Troy extend wishes of prosperity, good health, and happiness to you, Carla, during your well-deserved retirement years. This proclamation or service commendation is presented this 20th day of October 2025. It's signed by myself as the mayor. All members of our Troy City Council have also signed it. I just want to add, Carla, you know, she had a wild party at the Nature Center Pavilion when it was going away. I mean, it was wild because it was a packed house. I mean, there was a lot of people there to share appreciation, but I can't be stated enough the importance of what, you know, Carla has overseen at the Stage Nature Center. Many of you may or may not know, but the Nature Center was at risk of closing down after the Great Recession and the budgetary issues that the city was faced. And Carla, with many others who've given a lot of support, worked very hard to bring the Nature Society into the full operational mode for the Nature Center itself, with the city's, of course, support for the buildings and land. But Carla, you've led through a really tumultuous and wonderful time for the Nature Center, and I just want to stress the importance of what you've done and the work you've done, and really give my sincere thanks, all of our sincere thanks and appreciation for really some wonderful years at the Nature Center. And I've said it, I really do mean that I want you to come run or walk in the Run for Nature instead of organizing it this time. You got to get out there and enjoy it, but we are so grateful for Carla Reeb and all she's done. And not to take away from Erica, of course, coming on, but we'll get to you in a second. Yeah. I actually want to have council come down and get a picture with Carla, because I think it would mean something to all of us, and of course to you, I hope. Yeah. And then we'll give you a chance to say a few. You want to say a few words while they come down?
I do.
Why don't you do that?
Now, this is way too much credit is going my way, sorry. The credit lies here with the City of Troy, the City Council members, administrators. The residents have supported us. We would not be here without the magnificent partnership that these people have provided, and the City Council members before you, always so supportive, providing for us through some tough times. But we want to acknowledge that the partnership has been wonderful, and the staff, the volunteers, you know, we're a very small staff. About our volunteers, we have have about 220 volunteers who help us, but they are 98% of our workforce, so that just shows you how small. So the staff, the volunteers, the cooperation from the city, city administrators, anytime we have issues, they are there to help, and we're so appreciative. So the credit does not go to me. It goes to the staff and the volunteers, the city and the residents. Thank you so much for all you've done.
Thank you. Let's come over here. If you want to move us around, if we go right at Carla, you get in the middle, of course. But let's make sure we're more, yeah, we got to kind of get it spread out. There we go. I would love if Erica Walker would also come to the podium. She's already here. But just to introduce herself to all of us on council and to the community as the new executive director of the Stage Nature Center. Kind of some shoes to fill tonight, but we have faith in you, Erica. So if you want to introduce yourself.
Some very big shoes to fill, but thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you, Carla, for the great just base that you have set for the Troy Nature Center. I'm so excited to be the new executive director, and I'm looking forward to meeting each one of you on the trails. My name, as Mayor Baker said, is Erica Walker. I actually attended Athens High School, so please don't take that against me if you're a Troy Colt. But I graduated there, and then I went to Oakland Community College and finished out my education at Walsh College of Accountancy and Business Administration right down the street. I raised two of my children here in Troy for a little while before moving out to Armada with some acreage so I could have some farm animals. So please don't also take that against me, but I love the community of Troy. I spent a great time here teaching swimming lessons for Troy Community Swim before the community center opened. So I have nothing but good memories of Troy, and I look forward to making many more at the Troy Nature Center. I've spent a majority of my career in nonprofit, most recently in fundraising, where I love meeting people and helping people realize their philanthropic goals while also making it a better place for people in the community. I look forward to filling Carla's shoes, although it will take me some time to do all the great things that she's done, but I look forward to working with all the very generous volunteers that I've already met and meeting all of the citizens of Troy as they come to maple syrup and to Christmas and to all the other great programs that have already been established and looking to grow new ones. So thank you very much for inviting me tonight, and I wish Carla all the best in her retirement. You deserve it, and it's been such a pleasure to work with you over the past 4 weeks. Thank you for sticking with me and showing me the ropes of all the things that you've done. Thank you for inviting me tonight.
Feels like a security breach with all the council down here. I don't know. All right, that concludes certificates of recognition and special presentations. We have no carryover items this evening, no public hearings. Nobody signed up for public comment for items on the agenda from Troy residents and businesses, so no need for council reply. No postponed items, so we head into regular business. I-1 is board and committee appointments. I do have a couple mayoral appointments this evening. First, to the Downtown Development Authority, I move the appointment of Kenny Koza and Daniel McLeish as in-district members for the terms expiring September 30th, 2029.
Support.
Moved by the chair, supported by Councilmember Chamberlain, that we approve the appointments of Kenny Koza and Daniel McLeish to the Downtown Development Authority as in-district members for the terms expiring September 30th, 2029. Any discussion? The vote, Ms. Dixon.
Mayor Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Chamberlain Craig?
Yes.
Councilmember Chanda?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gunn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hamilton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hoderick?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next up, to Global Troy Advisory Committee, I'd like to move the appointments of Michelle Haight for the term expiring October 30th, 2026, Edward Chezik, Daniela Nacheva, Carolina Noguez-Ortiz, and Zudong Zhu for the terms expiring October 30th, 2028.
Support.
Moved by the chair, supported by Councilmember Chanda, that we approve the appointments of the individuals read into the record and printed in the agenda packet for the terms expiring on the date spoken and printed for the Global Troy Advisory Committee. Any discussion? The vote, Ms. Dixon.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Chamberlain Craig?
Yes.
Councilmember Chanda?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gunn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hamilton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hoderick?
Yes.
Mayor Baker?
Yes. Motion carries. That concludes mayoral appointments this evening. We have no city council appointments, so we'll move on to I2, board and committee nominations. No mayoral nominations this evening, but I'll turn it over to Mayor Pro Tem Gunn for a city council nomination.
Thank you, Mayor Baker. Resolved, the Troy City Council nominates the following persons to serve on the boards and committees to the Animal Appeal Board that expires on 9/30/2028. Tina Catron.
Support.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Gunn, supported by Councilmember Chamberlain, that we approve the reappointment of Tina Catron to the Animal Control Appeal Board for the term expiring, what did you say, Mark? September 30th, 2028. Any discussion? The vote, Ms. Dixon.
Councilmember Chamberlain Craig?
Yes.
Councilmember Chanda?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gunn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hamilton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hoderick?
Yes.
Mayor Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Motion carries. That concludes city council nominations this evening. There is no closed session requested, so move on to I4, contract renewal, group life insurance, accident and sickness coverage for volunteer firefighters, and that'll be introduced by Fire Chief Pete Hollinger.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. The City of Troy has provided life insurance and workers' compensation coverage as a benefit for many years to the volunteer firefighters. Last year, the City of Troy's benefit consultant, Gallagher Benefit Services, was contacted to evaluate the life insurance policy that was in place, as well as the options for supplemental workers' compensation coverage. The city selected the only company offering coverage and benefits that met the needs, and that was Volunteer Firemen's Insurance Services, VFIS, and purchased two policies, a group term life policy and an accident and sickness policy. Tonight, I bring before you the contract renewal for both of those. Any questions?
Any questions for the chief? Someone like to move the resolution? Councilmember Chanda?
I move item I4, contract renewal for group life insurance, accident and sickness coverage for volunteer firefighters as printed on the agenda package.
Support.
Moved by Councilmember Chanda, supported by Mayor Pro Tem Gunn, that we approve I4, contract renewal, group life insurance, accident and sickness coverage for volunteer firefighters as printed in the agenda packet. Any discussion? The vote, Ms. Dixon.
Councilmember Chanda?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gunn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hamilton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hoderick?
Yes.
Mayor Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Chamberlain Craig?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great, thank you.
That concludes regular business this evening. Next up is the consent agenda. Would anyone like to pull an item from the consent agenda for further discussion? Councilmember Hamilton.
I'd like to move all items on the consent agenda as printed in the agenda packet.
Support.
Moved by Councilmember Hamilton, supported by Councilmember Hoderick, that we approve all items on the consent agenda as printed in the agenda packet. Any discussion? The vote, Ms. Dixon.
Mayor Pro Tem Gunn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hamilton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hoderick?
Yes.
Mayor Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Councilmember Chamberlain Craig?
Yes.
Councilmember Chanda?
Yes.
Motion carries. If you're here for an item on the consent agenda this evening, they all have been approved. There are no memorandums and future council agenda items to announce, so we move on to public comment for items not on the agenda from Troy residents and businesses. We have one person signed up this evening. Same rules, Mr. Kappas, 3 minutes as always. The clock will give you a warning at yellow. We have 1 minute left. When it's red, that means your time is up. So Anthony Kappas.
Council, Anthony Kappas, 501 Eckford. Wanted to speak to you very quickly regarding Eckford Speedway. The road is ridiculous. We have people going down there. I actually own my own radar gun because of a business that I had, and I've clocked cars going down there 55, 60 miles an hour, no problem. Something has to be done. The city of Royal Oak, if you call them up, they will show proof that people are speeding in the areas. They'll put speed bumps in, no questions asked. Rochester Hills, no questions asked. They'll put them in. Sterling Heights, also, no questions asked. They will put them in. Berkeley, same thing. Warren said, no, you know what, we don't do them. But they are looking into whether they need to include those into their city as well. I don't understand why Troy is so adamant that they will not do something to slow the traffic down. And the other thing is that for anybody that's interested, I have video of the corner of Eckford and Tallman at 4 o'clock when the school is being out. This is when all of the elementary school kids are walking there. It is literally a jungle. You've got cars all over the place. You can't get through. You've got the construction crews that are in there. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Something needs to be done. And I'm imploring you people that are citizens of this city to help me get something taken care of, because otherwise somebody's going to get killed. Someone is going to get hit on that road. There's no question in my mind. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Kappas. That concludes those that have signed up for public comment for items not on the agenda from Troy residents and businesses. City Manager Nastasi, do you have any thoughts on what process?
Yeah, we have a traffic safety unit that can go out there. We have our directed patrol that will specifically target. We do it all over the city. If there's speeders, issues with people not stopping for school buses, disobeying traffic control devices. We have radar trailers that we can put out to help alleviate any issues or problems, especially after like new construction and things like that.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem, go ahead.
I'll comment also as a citizen myself. My HOA came to me with the very same situation, and the policy that I understand for the city of Troy is they will put out a radar trailer, and if there's so many percentage of the vehicles are speeding, then they will go ahead and agree to put in some speed bump. But it's got to be a certain percentage of the traffic that's speeding, beyond the speed limit. So.
Councilmember Chamberlain.
So just to echo that, Mr. Kappas, so I also had a similar situation in my neighborhood, not quite as congested as yours, but folks speeding.
Conducting a study of sorts. I know this city is speed bump averse. And for a number of reasons I've been told over the years by various city engineers. But
yeah, we get a lot of complaints on noise as vehicles go over it because it lifts up and drops, and it seems like a lot of people have either construction trailers or the trailers with lawn equipment, and it's very, very loud. And perhaps Kurt can come up and speak on the snow removal aspect too, I believe.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, speed bumps in City of Troy. I think the last time a report was provided to City Council was in 2020, and there was a similar discussion to what we're having tonight as the impacts of speed humps to snow removal, emergency response vehicles, noise, all of that. I will say the City of Troy no longer has any speed bumps. The ones we did have were removed from a repaving project because those were installed with a special assessment district. And Rochester Hills has a very similar policy as we do, as again, it does have to go through a speed study, and then it has to warrant that. And then it usually, in past, the residents on that street were actually assessed the cost of those speed humps. But we definitely can probably provide additional information and refresh what we've provided in the past. But they do cause some difficulty with snow removal, and specifically Eckford being a school route, it does see an elevated level of snow removal compared to other local roads.
Okay, so here's my question, not for you, Kurt. So, as a citizen, resident, mayor, and someone who understands, so what do we do? It's because they keep speeding down Eckford and lots of other streets in the city of Troy. That's the reality. I mean, what is the best? I hate to be the answer, well, there's nothing we can do. I don't like that answer, but I understand that's a reality of this role. But, you know, and we have limited resources in every aspect of it. But for some reason, I'm a little, I guess I'm uncomfortable saying, sorry, you know what I mean? And so
we can get a report to you on the speed bumps. There's a lot of times, you know, people will speed up to the bump and then speed past it or speed right over it. But a lot of cities do not have the resources Troy Police does with our traffic safety unit. And they've got the known hot spots and they rotate around and write tickets. So if people want to continue to speed down the streets, they'll get tickets. We do have a radar trailer that we put out so people know their speeds. And then we have officers that go out there and write violations. No different than we get a lot of complaints on I-75. We could put officers out there 24/7 and they're still going to speed, but this is really important because it's near a school and it's really important for the safety of everyone around there, including the kids. So this is something very important for the police department and traffic safety to be able to go out there, write violations, and educate people.
Yeah, I guess that's I don't necessarily think speed bumps are the answer for all the reasons stated, but that area is experiencing a ton of development. There's going to be a lot of new people living there, driving through there, and you already had a congested area with the school. I don't think it's going to get better before it gets worse, and I don't want the worst to be a major injury or something. So I appreciate the response and what we can do, and I hope that we do.
Yeah, I'll be following up with the police department. I'm sure they're listening with, I'm getting the head nods, so we'll work together as a team.
I appreciate that. Councilmember Hudrick, did you have something you want to say?
Some years ago, when I was first on, I can't remember which residential street, but there was a similar discussion, and everyone shared concern. And the speed hump, speed bump conversation came up. The residents at first were convinced that that would be the right answer for them. Offline and on their own, they did some research and some talking to people who in other communities had put in speed humps or bumps. I'm not sure. There is a little bit of a technical difference. And it didn't actually solve the speeding problem in the way they thought it would. It created a noise factor. There was speed up and speed down as people get close. They learn the route really well, and they learn how to navigate the speed bump and still speed. And in some ways, they weren't sure if they had created more problems for themselves. So the residents at that time actually did take a step back to say, okay, how do we make sure that speeding is enforced? Around the same time, we brought back the traffic safety unit, and there were more resources again with our police department to focus on that. You know, and I never heard from those folks again. So I think also the neighborhood itself put out, people will put out children playing as a reminder, especially for drivers who maybe don't always drive that street. I think that can be a good idea. But you're not seeing me jump on the idea of speed hump or bump. It's not like I'm not listening to you, but I've been through this conversation and exercise and thought process previously with another street. So I'm not ignoring you, or I'm just taking it in and remembering that experience of those residents before. And I just want to share it. You know, the answer is, clearly, we need to be patrolling. We need to be establishing, maybe working with the school district more, which I know we do. We have our community police officers that are connected to the district. So sometimes you can leave, and if you don't hear a response from all of us, it can look like maybe we're not hearing or that we don't care or we're not wanting to follow through. We do. I know all of us do. And so let us see what we can be doing and what the best solution is. I'm not removing the discussion of speed hump from the table. I'm just, what are the best options for this particular situation is what I think we want to explore with you and with our traffic safety folks and with the school district, because we hear you.
Thanks, Ellen. Mayor Pro Tem, go ahead.
Some travels throughout the state. Some of the communities that I have seen use the method of putting a permanent, I guess, radar sign, just tracking this miles per hour, right? But the minute you exceed so many miles over, it's like red and blue and red lights go off, and it's like a subliminal. Oh, this is like the police, And I've seen so many people slow down when they see that. That could be an option on those high-speed roads like Eckford, like Player, like your area. Just an idea.
Thank you, Mr. Kappas. Good to see you. We have no council referrals. We move on to reports. Does anybody have any comments on the reports? Councilmember Chamberlain.
Thank you, Mayor. I, with great pleasure, noticed under O2 Department reports, B, the third quarter economic development report. So I know a number of us had been missing those economic development reports. They give you great data to be able to explain and understand the situation of how our city is doing. And it was a reminder that our city, we've had a long ongoing relationship with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation that we do leverage and partner with businesses. And seeing a number of the new businesses listed, something that I didn't see, and maybe there weren't any this quarter, is acquisitions. I did hear through a friend that there is an interesting acquisition, and so I look forward to the next quarter report. Some new exciting things and major corporations we're going to be seeing in our city to be proud of. So again, just thankful for that report and look forward to them continuing.
Thank you, Councilmember Chamberlain. Councilmember Hamilton?
Thank you, Mayor. Two things I wanted to mention. One is O2C. It's the 2025 lead and copper rule monitoring update. I just saw in the news that Madison Heights did some of this and had some households with elevated lead levels. And so I see this on our agenda every year or so. And we had all ours passed. We didn't have any elevated lead levels. There aren't lead pipes in Troy. And it always feels really good when I see this. I know other communities experience issues with that, but we're always on top of the ball there with that. So it's good to see. And then the letters of appreciation from Rhonda Hendrickson regarding Sylvan Glen Lake Park. It's great to hear about how impressed residents are with Sylvan Glen Lake Park. It is such a great, thank you to Kurt and his whole team, it is such a great asset for our community, along with the trails there. It is just so amazing to see. My daughters love it, and it's just, you've done such a great job. It's great to see this.
Thank you, Councilmember Hamilton. Any other comments on the reports? All right. Council comments. Mayor Pro Tem Gunn?
Well, first, I'd like to wish everybody who celebrates Diwali, happy Diwali. It's a very big celebration for many of the citizens in Troy. And I'd like to recognize some people. I love seeing accomplishments from citizens in Troy, and there's three that jumped out at me over the last couple of weeks. A young gentleman, Anson Pingree, Eagle Scout from Boy Scout Troop 188. He worked at the Troy Historic Village putting together a mud oven, him and his fellow Eagle Scouts there. Coach Gary Frolick of Troy High School. He was recently inducted into the Michigan High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame. And Sky Fraley, I kind of know her a little bit from Troy Athens. She achieved 1,000 kills in volleyball. So that's not an easy accomplishment. She's a senior, and hopefully a school up in Ann Arbor is recruiting her.
Concordia? Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Gunn. Additional council comments? Councilmember Hamilton?
I know this is the last meeting before the election, so I ask Clerk Dixon, as I normally do, to explain all the many voting options that our residents have coming up in the next couple weeks.
Thank you. So this Saturday, early voting will open. The early voting will be running from October 25th to November 2nd, 8:30 to 4:30, except for Thursday, October 30th, when it's 12 to 8. Absentee ballots are out right now. They're available. If anyone needs one, we can mail it to you. You can pick it up from the clerk's office. Just have a quick application for you. And then, of course, on November 4th, polls will be open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Your polling location may have changed. We've tried to advertise it as many places as we possibly can think of, but we will have signs at the polling locations. If your polling location changed, there'll be a sign out in the front with a QR code where you can hit that with your smartphone, and then there's a tool where you plug your address in, and it'll tell you where your polling location is. But even if you miss all of that, we'll have workers there that can, look that up for you and help you out. But just be aware that your location may have changed. But we will be ready for everyone. We're excited to have a nice, quiet election day. So we have tons of information on our website, troymi.gov/elections, and always we are available in the clerk's office. If you have any questions, we'll also be open Saturday, November 1st, right up here on the second floor from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. if you need a ballot or if you just have questions, so stop by.
Thank you. Additional council comments? Councilmember Chana, do you have a follow-up question?
Yeah, I was going to ask a follow-up question. I think you mentioned people can come to the early voting location and register if they're not registered yet.
No, you can't register to vote at the early voting center. You can register to vote at the clerk's office. So actually starting today, it's starting tomorrow, sorry. Tomorrow through election day, if you want to register to vote, you have to appear in person at the clerk's office. So it would be during clerk's office hours. So that's 8 to 4:30, except for Saturday, November 1st, we're open 8 to 4. And then if you have any questions about registering to vote, again, our website has a lot of information, but feel free to call us if you want to make sure you're registered or have questions about that.
The satellite office that was there last year is not.
Right, because of the small turnout expected, we didn't run the satellite office for this election.
Okay, thanks.
Just one follow-up for Aileen as well. I forgot if you mentioned it, but did you remind everyone that they can take, I know there's 20,000 absentee ballots out there, they can take them to the early voting sites and scan them as well, right?
Yes, you have a couple options with your absentee ballot. You can bring it to the early voting center, and you can fill it out at home and bring it with you. You can bring it with you blank and fill it out when you're there. If you've made a mistake on it, you could bring it, turn it in, and get a new one, and then feed the ballot through the tabulator yourself at the early voting center. You also can take your absentee ballot to the polling location on election day, do the same process. You just go through and check in, and then you can feed your ballot through the tabulator while you're standing there. And then also, if you aren't able to do either of those, or you just want to return your ballot in the envelope, make sure you sign the envelope before you give it back to us, and you can drop it in any of the drop boxes. You can mail it back, but at this point, we recommend that you put it in the drop box if possible. There are 5 drop boxes, the maps on the website of where all the drop boxes are, or you can walk up to the clerk's office and hand it to one of the staff members if you feel more secure doing that.
Go ahead, Mayor Pro Tem Gunn.
Just another election question. Someone has a ballot the secret ballot where they tried to moisten it and it wouldn't stick. Can they use tape on it?
Yes, you can seal with, you were talking about the purple envelope?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can seal that with tape. That's no problem.
Additional council comments? Councilmember Brooks?
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, happy Diwali for those who celebrate. I think the message of light driving out darkness is an important one, and today is a day for many to celebrate and really hope that light will prevail. I also just wanted to remind everybody about Nature Center on Court, which will be November 7th at the Community Center. You can buy tickets online. Also, our Frightful 5K is coming up as well. So I thought somebody would mention it, but anyways, you can buy tickets for that as well. That will be at the community center. And then I just wanted to say a couple of words about Carla. Carla has been just wonderful. I've had the privilege of working with her for the past few years, as you know, serving on the board of the Nature Center, and she's just always been such a positive person, and just so humble. Just like what you saw tonight is just how she is all the time, and I am so grateful for her leadership. I've honestly never seen her angry or upset. She's always, you know, has a smile on her face, and you know, I think that you know, how do you say it, that kind of behavior, that, you know, the attitude, I should say, really trickles down to everyone at the Nature Center. All the staff is the same way. Everyone's always happy. I never see anybody upset or angry at the Nature Center. All the volunteers are always happy too. It's such a beautiful atmosphere, and so it's really been enjoyable. She will be very, very missed, and I know she left, but hopefully she will see the comments, and she definitely deserves her retirement because she's been just a wonderful person. So, and I appreciate working with her. So that's.
Thank you, Councilmember Brooks. Councilmember Chamberlain.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to start by wishing a happy Diwali to all who celebrate, and I thank the residents who've opened their homes to me over the past week. Also with Councilmember Brooks, we had a chance to celebrate with some residents, and it was a reminder of the light. Light comes from community and being in community. A couple other just practical things. The pool. So I'm grateful that the indoor pool is up and running. So thank you, City Manager Nastasi. And I saw on our weekly Q&A that the idea would be to reimburse folks who have passes, who use the pool and were not able to use it. Another thought that I had was, you know, maybe just extend their membership for the weeks that the pool was not open when it was expected to be, and there weren't options. But I know I've been waiting to renew mine for it to come up. But just thank you for troubleshooting that. I really, really appreciate whatever you decide in the end. Other thing I wanted to double check, Mayor Bicker, you're aware, Mr. Fagan from Lennox, we talked about the special assessment district. I wanted a reminder, it's been a while. Did we indeed update that special assessment district, or is that still in process? Because I promised him I would ask and give him an answer.
My understanding is that nothing was ever presented to us to update the process. We had some changeover in staff, but that should be on a list somewhere.
Okay. I'm hoping that can be. If anything, it can be a goal for next year going into the annual year, because I know that the neighbors are very eager, and that was the first thing wanted to know was the status of that. So just to mention that. And then another note, I don't know if this is the time we're going to share with our goodbyes to Ellen, or if we're waiting for.
We'll be at the next meeting.
Okay, so we will see you at the next meeting. Okay, so we'll save those. To Ellen. Because I have so many things to share. But not yet.
I'm actually like a little unnerved by all that.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I truly am. But you're stuck with me for one more meeting.
Okay, I'll save those. Okay.
Councilmember Chanda.
Yeah, I asked her in the beginning of the meeting, so we are not ready to say goodbye yet. We have one more meeting, maybe two more if there is recount, right? So I also wanted to wish everyone a happy Diwali, those who celebrate. You know, it's a festival that I grew up with, Festival of Lights, and a lot of Troy residents and millions across the country and around the world celebrate. So it's a Festival of Light. I was also pretty moved to see two of the Troy Community Foundation and Carla Reeves from Nature Center here today. These are some of the examples what makes Troy Troy. I mean, some of these volunteers, 200 plus volunteers that took part in Troy Days. Kudos to all of them. Leadership from Karen, Kurt, and many others. I had a neighbor who just moved into Troy a few weeks before the Troy Days, and from California, and I told her, you're from essentially Southern California, where show business is, very prominent, and say, go and see Troy Days, and they were moved. Oh my God, what a wonderful, festival with their little kids. So I appreciate all the work they do, all the volunteers, and Carla certainly is a wonderful example of situation, institute like Nature Center that makes Troy such a wonderful city to live and have family and have business. So thanks for everything you're doing. An election is coming, so we'll probably meet after the election. So don't forget to vote. November 4th is the election. As City Clerk mentioned, you can vote in different ways. Vote absentee, vote early, or vote on the election day. So but please make sure that you vote.
Ellen, do you have anything?
No,
She'll save it for next.
everybody's
said it.
Go
Well,
Lions.
Go Lions, right, that was that. I wanted to add about the Frightful 5K, because Teresa stole my thunder. I think it's the 9th annual, that's what the sign says. It is a very cool run, and it's part of Big Beaver shut down, and it's a perspective of our city that you don't ever get to see because you're always in a car going down Big Beaver. But if you're on foot, either running or walking, it's really cool to see, and it's nice to see what's typically been a pretty big community event with a lot of people out there enjoying it. So I'm thankful in advance to the city staff that has to put in so many extra hours on a cold Sunday morning to make sure that the participants are safe, and it's a lot of work, I recognize that, but I really like that event. I like it. I sound like I'm losing my mind, but it is a great event, and I've never been disappointed by the turnout or by the people that are there sharing in the community feelings here in the city of Troy. So that's this Sunday. You can still register now. You can even register the morning of the race, but the cost does go up on that morning. So come there. Also, Diwali's been well announced or appreciated, but City Hall is lit up, which I think is nice. So thank you to the facilities team for doing that, and for those who made that happen. I think it's a nice show of community appreciation. And last, Julie Quinn Dufresne hasn't said anything because she hasn't had to, but she's Assistant City Attorney, just filling in tonight. I want to say welcome to the table tonight, Julie. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know what I say at Planning Commission meetings, any meeting where the attorney doesn't speak is a good meeting.
Right.
So
with that, we'll say good to see you. And also, there's no public comment. Nobody signed up for public comment for items on or not on the agenda for members of the public outside of Troy, and there's no closed session, so we are adjourned.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.